watching them lose their hair, they're crying into you saying, please don't let me die. Please save me. And you can't show weakness because you need to be strong for them, and you have to internalize that. And fitness, running and weightlifting, all of this stuff is what really helped me get through that time.
I can I
So,
can I can feel because doing this content because I didn't start doing interviews to later after she passed because her mother had caught the virus and because of her medical issues, she didn't last too much longer.
yeah.
When starting doing this content because I've been a fan of bodybuilding for a long time, especially the women, and starting this content on y'all ladies. This has helped me through my dealing with her stuff, her medical issues, her appointments, all that. I remember sometimes she'll say to me, says, George, I wish you would be doing this because this is something that a man should be doing. Because I had three older sisters at the time, but one of my sisters, her husband was disabled. She take care of her. My other sister was working. She didn't have to come down here all the time. And the baby girl, the one I mentioned earlier, she passed away. She had a
Right.
stroke a few years before that, and then she was trying to take care of herself till she passed. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's tough. We got here somebody coming in here. That's my man KL. Shout out to him. He introduced us. He
Hi.
says, "Good evening." Yeah, good evening to you. And he says also
Good
to you,
evening.
Erica, good
Thank
luck.
you. Thank you.
So, what division are you shooting for?
So, I'm in the figure division because my genetics and my body type, that's just the way I'm shaped. I'm too big, too muscular for bikini, and not quite muscular enough for physique. I mean, I could enter physique, but I'd be on the smaller side. So we're doing figure open, novice in figure, and true novice. And then depending on how I place in June, July for the Thai Pope show, those might change. I'll still be figure, but I'm not sure where exactly I'll be at till after June.
Oh, that's good. Figure has
So
been.
I'm
I
really
think
excited.
yeah, figure's been around for quite some time. It's a particular division I've been careless and interested in because most of my focus is on women's bodybuilding. I've been a fan of that division for a long time, and and physique, and also there's other divisions that bikini. This is my thought on bikini, and wellness. It kind of piques my interest. One of my
Right.
jobs, I used to work in a strip club, and in the hood, it's the booty club. So it's about the booty. But
Right.
one division I don't have a fondness for. I don't think it's gonna be. I don't know. My thing about this division, it might affect the how the Western divisions go along from now on, and that is the fit modelers. Excuse me, hot. I think I'm just not a fan of it. I just don't.
Yeah, I hear that from a lot of people, the whole fit model thing category. I haven't competed yet till June, so I feel like I don't have a place to stay. But in my personal opinion, I don't see how that fits into
Bodybuilding.
bodybuilding. I just
See,
don't. I
I
don't.
don't. Here's the thing is, it's supposed to be thing because to go back, throw back to bikini, but bikini being
Right.
in bodybuilding like it is now, it has evolved. You've seen the
Mhm.
girls. I've been bodybuilding for a long time. If you see the girls in bikini now, they're bigger than women that started in bodybuilding back in the '80s. The condition is
Right.
crazy,
Hmm.
and then it's like any sports, it's evolving evolution. Like you look at women's bodybuilding right now, you look at the people like up there on top, like Andrea Shaw, Angel Yo. Then you look at people like Natalia Cuello, Sarah Vilgas. You look at people like Sid Gillen or Lola
Hmm.
Montez, and all the other divisions. It's just evolution of the sport. But you bring this
Right.
division supposed to be like this idea of a throwback or bunch of gym bunnies and beach bunnies. It's just going to evolve like those other divisions later on.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
can see.
yeah. So who's your coach? Who you working with?
Sherry Cameron, she's my coach, and she's awesome. She placed fourth at the Olympia last year at the in the amateur division. So she's awesome.
Yeah, I was talking to Sherry. She problem was that issue that she couldn't do the open because there's something that happened and she only could do the masters part. She was hoping to get a pro card at that show, but I think she did a show, I think in the Bahamas, but didn't get a pro card. Been trying to get her on here, and he says she wants me to get a pro card. You know how we get the pro card, Sherry. You know, don't be scared. Come on, tell your story. She's a nice lady. And Her
She will
grandbaby,
eventually.
yeah,
She's awesome. She really is.
and
She's a
then
straight shooter. That's why I love her style of coaching with me because she just gives me my nutrition, gives me what I need to do, and I just do it. And if she has something to say, she just says it. She doesn't beat around the bush, and I can appreciate that. So
in your
we get
opinion,
along real well.
you think in your opinion, it's more comfortable a woman to be coached by another woman than compared to a man?
For me, yes. I like being with a woman one on one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think because women understand the aspects of physiology compared to men,
Yes.
and I've talked to
Yes.
people saying like, especially ladies, they have worked with guys. There's some guys who do pretty good with women, but some guys will give a same cookie cutter plan as they do to a woman as they would to a man. But you
A
gotta
man.
remember, yeah, women, your biology is different compared to us. Men, we
Hmm.
can put on muscle a lot faster. I played football and sports. I used to pull. I was strong when I was younger. Now I'm just an old, broken down old man. But you know what? I think it's about understanding about how a person develops and grows. And that's why I say you would do a figure over the other divisions. So while
Right.
we get Erica here, if she don't mind, we're going to jump into her social media for a bit. She's on Facebook. I know, guys, Facebook is not, but hey, it's her stuff. That's where she's at. You want to follow her, check her out. Show respect, guys. Don't be that weird guy. As I said like this, guys, no dick pics. Stop it.
Yes.
Listen,
Please.
I
I'm married.
yeah, she's married. And your husband, I don't want you to be hearing somebody, hey, somebody says some shit to my wife, and then you be beat in the middle of the street. You're like, hey. Wasn't that
He's okay. He handles it well. He's older. He's 59. He'll be 60 in July.
oh
He's a Marine vet, so he handles it well.
so
But
you so
he doesn't want
so
anybody sending me dick pics or weird videos.
so you're married to a devil dog. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. That those jar rings, they don't play. I was thinking about joining myself when I was younger, but I got a job and life happens. But yeah, hey man, don't. And I also say this: I don't say to anybody who served our country, because I have veterans in my family. I don't say thank you for your service. I say appreciate the sacrifice he has made for his country as a citizen. That is a lot
Thank
better than
you.
thank. So
Thank you.
thank you. You're not providing a service when you join the military. You are making sacrifices, both your
I
life
think
and
that
your time.
the way that you put it sounds so much better because he really doesn't like when he hears thank you for your service. I mean, he has his own reasons for that, but the way you have put it is much better, I think.
Yeah, because
He
I
would
say I
like
have
that.
veterans.
He's watching
I
right now, so I'm sure he
yeah,
appreciates it.
because if he's here, you want to step in for more? Is he right here or is he in the house or?
Oh no, he's out on a job right now on a sales call, but I know that he's probably on his phone watching. So
Well, sir, what's your man's name?
his name is Dan Gandee.
Yeah, Danny boy. As I said again, this as a citizen, I appreciate sacrifice you made for this country. Thank you is never enough. You don't provide a service, sir. You provide a sacrifice. Doctors, nurses, waitresses do service. You sacrifice your time, your life, and your freedom for this country. So we thank you for that.
Yes, he did.
So folks, we can jump into her social media for a bit. And
Oh,
yes,
there he
she's
is
on.
right there.
There's your man. He's eating. See, he's eating pizza. He's eating crayons.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And
He
how long
was
y'all
eating
keep?
pizza while I was eating a sugarless shake, basically.
Yeah,
I
I
was
know
so
you want
jealous.
to. I know you want to smack in the head and say, "Baby, I'm taking your pizza." Don't you say a damn thing. But you know what? How long y'all two been together?
4 years.
That's good.
4 years
And when y'all
now, yeah.
meet?
We worked together in funeral business. That's how we met.
Oh,
He
that's
was on the pre-need side. He ran the state for funeral homes for the death contract side for people who want to do pre-arrangement. I was on the after death side once the bodies come in, processing them, death certificates, all of that stuff that goes along funeral business. You know,
I would say that's tough work. I mean, especially for us people with the family go see a body and y'all do all that work. And my mom when she was buried, she looked just about like you herself. I mean, and just what got you into that? I mean,
my brother.
uh, mhm.
Like I said, after my brother was murdered, I mean, my life was, and it always has been, centered around honoring him. And when he was in the funeral home, I knew that my calling was to help other people that are grieving, that are going through this same type of stuff. So it's really hard to get your foot in the door in funeral business as far as on the administration side, management side and stuff like that. And I was able to do that. And I've helped so many families, and that's where it's at for me. I love to inspire people with my story, help families, give a kind word. You don't realize the weight of your words and actions that can change people's lives and help them through the worst loss of their lives. In funeral business, people assume that people come in and they're sad, and they are sad, but 99% of the time they're pissed, they're mad, and they're looking for somebody to take it out on, and you're the person that is on the receiving end of that. So it's very hard. You have to learn how to be empathetic and understand that it's not personal, and be able to relate to them. And I was always able to relate to them because of the losses I've experienced, to make their time in the funeral home and saying their goodbyes a little bit less painful, if you will.
Yeah, it's understanding. It's a lot to deal with, especially us humans realizing how our mortality is such like a blink of an eye. It could be from getting sick, from an accident, or like what happened with your brother. It's just something. Sometimes we still just
You just
can't.
never know. You
Yeah,
never know. And it's going to
yeah,
happen. That's why I say every day I wake up, I do my ritual before the gym. I light my sage, my incense. I talk to spirit, and I say thank you for my life, for my house, for my children, and to manifest what I want out of my life, because you never know when it's going to be over.
yeah. Like I said, life is short and precious. We
That's
only
my
have
cat.
one. Yeah, it's a cat. What kind of cat? Is that one of those hairless?
Yes, she's a sphinx. Her name is Karma.
Oh, that's cute. When we grew up, we never. My sister didn't like cats that much. We just have dogs. You know, before she
I have
passed, my mom.
5.
Yeah, but you're a cat lady.
I'm the
You got a
crazy
man.
cat lady.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I know a lady. She's a figure competitor, and she has at least 6 or 7. And
Hmm.
I mean, y'all got either you either have cats, you have dogs. I got a guy I know. He's did an interview with a lady. She owns a monkey.
Oh my God, I love that. I wanted a monkey so bad, but my husband was like, no freaking way. I got 5 cats. We're not getting a monkey.
I would say it's the best plan not to get the monkey because monkeys do take and throw their shit. So that's the thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he was saying
Yeah.
too. So,
So now you are getting to the realm of bodybuilding. What's your feelings now? How are you feeling? Because it's another 5 weeks of the show. You're getting prepared.
uh,
It's a lot.
I I feel I'm excited. Number one, a little bit nervous. Not quite as nervous as I was before. Um, I feel very depleted because my calories are down, and I'm working out at least 3 times a day now. A lot of cardio and stuff to start cutting and, defining the muscle and stuff like that. So I'm sleeping a lot, resting a lot. I'm very bitchy. Um, just to be honest with you. You can talk to my husband about that. But I try to keep it under control, but it's definitely taxing. This prep, just functioning, your brain isn't quite as clear as it was before. Your body's trying to convince you to eat other things when you shouldn't eat. So it's a test of discipline, which I enjoy a challenge, and I won't break. I'm not easily broken. So I mean, I'm feeling good, but I have my good days where I'm up, but then sometimes I crash too.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
but it's all part of it.
That's the tough part about the prep because you know what? Your body is changing, your aspects of it,
Hmm.
especially as you try to put on muscle, working conditioning. The diet part is the hardest part because you have to be consistent with your diet. And I know Sherry, she
Hmm.
has a plan set for you and you have to stick to that plan. That's the one thing about
Yeah.
bodybuilding. It's about discipline. Where people, the everyday person who looks at it say, like, it's about steroids. I take big steroids, I guess I can do that and get it. And no, 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 no. This is what I've learned. It's not about what gear you take. It's about you follow a plan, being disciplined, dieting. If anything,
Absolutely.
if you are someone that is natural bodybuilding, it's a different look compared to the more enhanced competitors, but it's only a small percentage of that because you know what, you'll take it every year. You take it at doing your process and doing your training, and then it's for recovery because you know what, the body
Hmm.
is. I can tell you right now, I have a broken body. I got issues with my shoulder, got two bad knees like Stone Cold Steve Austin. You know, I
Yeah.
I tell you, if I take steroids, it might help me a little bit, but then I don't train like y'all or follow your diet. This is a true story about me. When my mom passed, I was seeing a doctor and he told me, Mr. MacArthur, you are at 500 pounds. And
Mm.
that's tough because I had a pacemaker. I had a stroke about 10 years ago. And I had to
Mm,
say,
sorry.
since now I didn't have my mom take care of because I had to take care of myself, I started making changes. And right now I was a little under 400, but I'm at 400 because I had a little, like I said, my knees are bothering me. I can't do much like I used to. And, plus
Hmm.
I can't go to the gym every day because I got no car. I got my car in the shop. But forget that. But I really learned something with these interviews and with your ladies sharing your stories, how you start. Like, I think the ladies told me that when they were going through some issues, mental, physical issues, abuse, sometimes some who came from
Hmm.
athletic backgrounds, and then they just want something to do. Like you said yourself, you're a CrossFitter, and
Hmm.
CrossFit's been around for quite some time. What got you? What was your interest in the division before you got into bodybuilding?
What was my interest? But before bodybuilding? What do you
Yes.
mean?
What else?
What else besides CrossFit? You mean?
Yeah, besides CrossFit, and
I mean, I really didn't have anything else I was interested in. I loved CrossFit. I mean, that was my thing. I was there every day. But I worked full time, so there was really no time for a whole lot else between work and CrossFit. And the major change came when we moved. We moved away from the CrossFit facility that I was going to, and I was like, you know what? I'm not getting, like I said, I'm not getting the physique that I wanted and all this stuff. And I'm like, channeling spirit. I'm like, do I stick with CrossFit? Do I go to bodybuilding? And Spirit was saying, go to bodybuilding, do bodybuilding. And it has been wonderful ever since. So yeah.
That's good. I think some things happen for a reason, especially if you, like you said, you made the move and then you found bodybuilding because even though you wouldn't do CrossFit anymore, you found something that kind of took its place. If you look at some of the
Yeah.
CrossFitters, many of them, either were, I know some ladies who were in CrossFit with the bodybuilding, some from bodybuilding to CrossFit. It's just, finding something that
Yeah.
works for you. He would get
Yeah.
comfort. Go ahead.
Or no, I was going to say CrossFit's great, but it's very obviously high intensity. You're throwing a lot of weight over your head and stuff like that. So it's starting to mess with my shoulders and my joints and stuff like that. And I didn't want to have to go into a shoulder surgery or anything like that. So I was like, wanted to weigh my options with that. That was kind of the deciding factor too, was to slow it down, build muscle, build a better, more even physique. Because the main thing I was building in CrossFit was my traps. Like my traps are huge. That's where I get all my muscle at, even now. So, but I'm kind of evened out since then. So,
Yeah, you get some nice straps. I mean, if I was like, so one of my crimes, Erica, I must have heard smell. I make my crime, and I used to study massage therapy, so I'll pay you massage therapy just to get to touch your traps. But yeah, I think everybody has what things that gets them into something and really gets them, focused on a goal. We got here from my man, Mr. Fix It. Welcome, man. He says, awesome video. Keep up the great work. I wish her luck. Appreciate that.
thank you. Thank
Also,
you.
we have here from man KL the Wanderer. He says, Erica, when did you notice you were developing muscles? He's a fan of muscles.
Oh, that was in CrossFit for sure. That's when I started developing. When I was throwing hundreds of pounds over my head, snatching, doing all that stuff, I would look in the mirror and I'm like, oh my God, like my shoulders and but it was all here. You know what I mean? I was really big up here. And I'm like, well, but it's nowhere else. But now it's like I'm popping everywhere. Sherry's got me on such a great routine for the last year. So I mean, it's a dream come true. I love my body. I love it now.
We should love your body.
So
You only have one, and you should appreciate
that's
what you
right.
put into it. I can tell you the truth. When I was younger, I used to, well, not love my body that much, but I understand that you have to find something that you really love about this sport and that really
Hmm.
inspires you. Like, and you talk about Sherry. Is there anybody else, who's been doing sport for a while that you really, admire or respect their work and their
Mm.
discipline?
As far as females go, I like the 80s girls. I like Corey Iverson. I like Rachel McLish. I think that's her name. And I'm also a huge fan of Jay Cutler. Not so much. I love his muscles and his routine, but I love his way of dealing with people, especially people who are rude. Um, just his whole demeanor. He tries to understand and explain things in a calm manner. And I think that's very attractive, all around in a bodybuilding when you're dealing with people or working out. Don't tell my husband. He, Jay Cutler's my other crush.
Wait a minute. Didn't you say he might be watching this? So it's too late.
He
He
might be.
he already knows. There's no say, hey, Dan, it's just a crush. She never met the man. Nothing's gonna happen. That's your girl. I don't know if you want to fight. I think you and Jay about the same age, so it would.
Yeah,
Well, yeah. So it wouldn't be too much. He's a big muscular
yeah.
guy. You're
I
that
think Jay
slim.
Cutler is a little bit younger than him, actually. I
Yeah,
think. I'm not sure.
because I know you used to compete with Ronnie Coleman. Ronnie Coleman has turned 61 just I think last week. So
He's my other favorite, too. I
yeah,
love Ronnie Coleman.
yeah.
I do.
Wait, yeah, buddy. Yeah,
I mean, you can't not love him. You know what I mean? He's just so awesome. He's
yeah.
cool.
There's one person I know Ed KL, you know who I'm talking about. My favorite is I had to pull up. She's my girlfriend. That is Andrea Shaw.
I've never seen her before.
Oh yeah, she is the current Miss Olympia. Five
Oh, you
time.
know what it is? It's the picture. It's
Yeah,
where couldn't tell. I know who she is now. Yeah.
yeah. Because this is what this is one thing I often say like this. The quote from my other personality says, "If you're getting something, never do it for free." And a friend of mine, and I always like to bring this guy because the friendships I gathered from doing this content and ladies I get to meet and even do interviews with. My friend is Eunice. She runs her own magazine and actually her own clothing company called Bad Rap. They do clothing lines like that. And she was at the Olympia back in 2023. She's got to meet Andrea. And
She's
Andrea,
beautiful.
she is beautiful. That's what she really brought up like a throwback, like people like Corey Eveson, Linda Murray, very highly beautiful, very ladies I've known, I've interviewed with, told me she's really nice, down to earth. She signed it for me. And
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
she told me she loved me and she thanks me in my support. That's why I want to marry her. So
You gotta frame it. You gotta
I
frame that.
know, but I know I sleep with it at night and I call it George. So you know, I,
That's funny.
I know, but you know what? Like I say, I remember when I went my first bodybuilding show. I did most of the time. I didn't have a lot of time. I was working, and then I was a few years ago to my first bodybuilding show. It was a great opportunity to meet some of these ladies I've seen. I mean, Linda Mary was there. I saw her. A couple of ladies who I follow on social media. Some legends. Even I was there. I got a picture with a lady who I think she's probably one of the best bodybuilders in the world. Is a Alita Popa. You've heard of her. She competed in the Miss Olympia. She was runner up like two times back in the 2000s. She even have her own show. And doing this
Mhm.
content, I get to learn more about this. And this is what gets me motivated as an advocate for you ladies. Because the fact is, y'all don't get enough attention. Y'all don't get enough support compared to the guys. Everybody. This is how I say about the guys divisions. The guy divisions are the bottom bitch. They're the ones who get the attention, to get the money, and then,
Right.
yeah, and all they got to do is wear a pair of banana hammers and board shorts. You ladies, it's a lot tougher for y'all because you're changing your aspects of what's considered feminine. You're putting on muscle. And I know like I said,
Hmm.
you're an attractive lady. You are, you know.
Thank you.
And most people say, look at her and say, the muscle say, she's trying to be a man. Yeah. It's a
Oh
big
yeah, I get
thing.
that all the time. Like, okay, because I have muscle. So weird.
Yeah, that's what it is. I think it's just the sense of everyday person to see any kind of woman who builds muscle, especially if the guys who got me with boobs. So here we got here, this is from my man KL. Shout out to KL. He says, what's the heaviest you lift in CrossFit?
Oh, well, in CrossFit, as far as throwing it, cleaning, I think 130. Throwing it over my head, I think it was about 130. Deadlift now, I can do about 300 pounds. And bench press right now, I can do 200 pounds. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, my husband's spotting me just to make sure I'm okay.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So when you're working out, what's your favorite workout? And that workout you say we get into the gym, you say, "Bam! Why I gotta do this shit?"
What's my favorite
Yeah.
workout? Oh man. Probably dumbbell bench press. I like that. Um, the one that I can't stand would be the hip thrusting machine. I really don't like doing that very much. I'd rather do cardio.
Oh, oh, you're. I had ladies tell me that they love leg day. I say you're a freak. You're a mutant. But
Oh, I
yeah,
love leg day too. I love the leg press. I do. Yes.
that you're one of the freaks. You're one of the mutants.
Yeah, but I was
Erica.
a runner. I was a runner for so many years, so my legs are really strong. I mean, I think my body is proportionally strong, but my legs definitely. I mean, I can push probably 500-600 pounds on the leg press. Um, at about like probably like 12 to 15 reps or something like that. But yeah, I mean, all of my exercises I really love, besides the hip thrusting machine when I'm going heavy. Because right now, because I'm cutting, I'm going light, so it's more tolerable. But when I'm heavy doing that, I can't stand it.
Yeah, I know it's tough. Especially I think everybody has those exercises that really are their best, and the ones that they have to work on. Because you know what, you want to be a complete athlete. You have to work on your strengths as much as your weaknesses. We have here a comment from
Absolutely.
my man, Mr. Fix. He says, "Yep, that diet and cardio is what got me my abs. So congratulations. I got abs, but they're under this, so I can't see them. Also, we got
Same for
here
me,
from
diet and
uh,
cardio.
yeah, this is for a man. Dan Gundy says your husband just heard that. By the way, hey, Dan,
Hi,
brother.
baby.
He's not nothing gonna happen between you and her. You're her and Jay. Okay, it's cool, man. Don't come home charging it and say you my woman. And next thing you see Jay Cutler someplace gonna fight. Nah, man, don't do that. Just honor you, Marine. Simplify, brother. Simplify. Calm down. Stay cool. Be cool.
I knew he was on there somewhere.
Yeah. Hey, he's your man. He wants